I'm going to be so honest. For the last few weeks, every time I come on here and I'm saying Aston Villa this, Chelsea that, Man United this, I've been saying it out of hope more than expectation. Saying that one of these teams will fumble the top four, they'll slip up, they'll play each other and they'll mess up, they'll play lesser teams, they'll mess up. I actually wasn't really believing it. Honestly, I completely believed that despite how unreliable every single team in this league is, they would still find a way to just somehow make top four. But the more I look at these games and these performances and how itchy these teams get and how nervous they get and how nervous their fan bases get and how unproductive their front lines look at times, I think to myself, hold on. This could actually happen. Liverpool could actually find a way to catch these teams. The way Chelsea performed in that first half, you would think I should be get a second goal, end the game. If you go 2-0 up against Burnley, there's no way on this earth that they're gonna come back. I don't care. There's no way. They're not good enough to come back. But that red card to Wesley Fofana, which that challenge itself could have been a red card, just straight red card. But that red card changed the game. Burnley started pressing. Chelsea sat back. Chelsea were bringing on defenders at set pieces just to hope and pray that they could hold on to the lead. And that James Ward-Prowse, there's so many players in this world, in the history of football, that you might look at them and you say, they don't really have any outstanding talent, any outstanding skills. James Ward-Prowse is the one player that I think everybody can universally agree that he might not have anything else, but if there's one thing he has, it's a set piece. Whether it's a free kick, whether it's a corner kick, whether it's a direct free kick, whether it's an indirect free kick, whether it's a penalty, this guy strikes a ball better than few players I've ever seen in Premier League history. I'm so serious. It's hard to find players, 5 players, since I started watching the Premier League, that deliver a set piece better than James Ward-Prowse on a consistent basis. All types of set pieces. And that ball that he put in for Zion Fleming, exceptional. The whip and pace on that ball, exceptional. And in fact, Burnley should have won the game. At the last, who got the header at the end? Not sure which Burnley player it was, but it was exactly the same kind of corner kick. And you have a free header, maybe 8 yards out, to win the game, to keep your slim hopes of survival alive, and you miss it in the manner you missed it. Like Chelsea in the first half, they performed well. They performed well. They did what they needed to do. You take the lead early with João Pedro. Decent finish. The comical nature of Chelsea's attackers is the fact that chance was such a easy finish, and you still have to bundle all 3 of you into the ball. The ball, João Pedro, and the keeper. All 3 of you have to enter the goal for it to be a goal. That's just the comical nature of Chelsea's finishing and attacking talent on this season, right? But I'm thinking, okay, press on. Like, create more chances. Cole Palmer, it's Burnley at the end of the day. Cole Palmer, press on. Create more chances. Get the second goal. It's game over. If you go up 2-0 at halftime, it's game over. But every time a team does not go up 2-0 at halftime, I genuinely get worried. I genuinely get worried that this might be the most mentally weak Premier League season I've seen in a long time. And I'm not saying like these players are mentally weak. I'm saying when it comes to performances, the way so many teams slip up, the way so many teams fumble, easy wins, easy positions, missing easy chances. It's incredible. Arsenal, you fumbled how many chances to get 10 plus points above Man City? Man City win later today, it's 2 points. Man City, you fumbled beginning of the season, beginning of the year. How many draws did you have in a row that you could have caught up to Arsenal? You fumbled there. Liverpool, you were in the top 4. How many? Well, 1 win in 6. You fumbled out of the top 4. United, basically the entire first half of your season, Amarim, you fumbled there. Chelsea, similar. You fumbled so many leads. You fumbled so many easy wins this season. Villa, they're doing what they do every single year, fumbling the end of the season. So I'm looking at this season. I'm thinking, what can you even predict? What can you expect from these teams in this top 4 race? Because now we can all agree, Man City, Arsenal, top 2, book it. But the other 4, and Villa today drew again. Drew with, who was it, Leeds? You cannot expect anything from these teams. I look at these teams, I think to myself, Liverpool can go level on points with Chelsea if they win tomorrow at Forest. Ask me if I have any belief that Liverpool will win that game. Ask me if I fully believe that Liverpool will win that game. I do not believe it. I would hope it happens. I would want it to happen. I would be over the moon if it happened. But if you ask me, would I put a statement out that says Liverpool win that game? Will I put my money on that? No. Why would I? What have they shown me this season for me to believe that they can do it? And that must be how Chelsea fans are feeling right now. That must be how Villa fans are feeling right now. Villa, I didn't watch the Villa game, but if I just had to guess what happened in the Villa game, Leeds take the lead. Villa press on, not enough attacking firepower, struggle to get a goal, eventually get a goal because they're just pressing on for so long. 1-1. That's just, I haven't watched the game. I don't know what exactly happened, but that's just my what I think would have happened. Because that's Villa. You just can't rely on this team. If it's the Champions League, if it's Europe, yeah, sure. I can expect Emery to put in a decent performance. But in the Premier League, I just don't believe. And that's the same with Chelsea. I look at that team, and I see a team with, Reece James, great player. Leader, in my opinion. A very good leader. But then I look at everybody else. Where are Enzo Fernandez seems always volatile. Same with Caicedo. Andre Santos today trying to fight how many people? Andre Santos. Your midfield is full of talented players, volatile players whose emotions are high and low, right? Look at your front line. Delap. Zapata is getting the goals back a little bit now, but Delap, Neto, Garnacho, Gittins. These guys don't even sound like Chelsea players. They don't sound like Chelsea players. How can Chelsea expect to win anything with these players? Now, I know they won the Club World Cup, and people, will say, okay, yeah, look, listen, Club World Cup is not everything. It's not everything, and they won the Conference League last season. Yes, the Conference League though. Like now that you have to perform in the Champions League, now you have to perform in the Premier League. Can you rely on these players? Honestly speaking, ask yourself that question. Can you rely on these players to take you where you need to go as a club? Chelsea are Champions League a club. Chelsea are Premier League fighting clubs. They're not top four. They're not Europa League, Conference League. They're Champions League. And for as long as I've watched football for the last 20 plus years, Chelsea have always been in those conversations for the most part. So I'm not holding them to a lesser expectation, especially given the money they've spent. You spent all this money, you cannot still be having the same expectations as a team like Aston Villa, Newcastle. No. Gone are the days where we need to start holding top four teams, traditional top four teams, to a high standard. If you miss out on the top four, it's a failure of a season. It's a failure. Given we've all spent this money, United spent money, Arsenal spent money, Chelsea spent money, City spent money, Liverpool spent money. If you don't make the top four, if Aston Villa is making top four over you, you failed as a big club that season. All due respect, you failed. They should not be finishing above you because they shouldn't have better players than you. They should not have a better manager than you. They should not have a better just overall club than you. And yet we find ourselves in a position where that actually could be a reality, where Villa will finish above Chelsea, United, and Liverpool. All due respect to Villa, that's shameful for the other three clubs. That's shameful. And it's unacceptable. And fans, I go online and I see fans talking about, we'll take the win, we'll take the draw, I think to myself, the Chelsea I used to fear 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, the United I used to fear 10, 15 years ago, they would never speak like this. It's become normalized for these clubs to just be okay with certain results, certain positions. It's unacceptable. And you see it in the way these Chelsea players play today. They don't play like they play for Chelsea. I don't know if that makes sense. They play like they play in the Premier League. Yes, you get paid, but they don't play like they play for Chelsea. They don't play like they have the expectation to win. You have an obligation to win. At clubs like this, you have an obligation to win. Your forwards, they score goals. They're a blockbuster. You don't just have a bunch of mid-table talent in your team. That's not the Chelsea I grew up on. So when I watch this Chelsea team, the expectations should be much higher, but the players, they just can't live up to the expectations. They just can't match what they should give a club the size of Chelsea. And I think for the rest of the season, it's going to continue to be just a drag. They're just going to continue clawing and grasping at that top four. You get games where they should win. Even with that red card, Fofana, they should still have been 2-0 up at least by that point. Because it's Burnley. This is not Newcastle. This is not one of the better teams in the league. This is Burnley. Relegation threatened Burnley. Sure to go down Burnley. And you're grasping at goals. And even the goal you score is scrappy. It's not even a clean goal. I don't know. But as a Liverpool fan, obviously I'm ecstatic. Any chance we get to get points on these teams, I'm happy. But I still have to be objective as a football fan and say to myself, these performances are not it. They're not good enough. And the Chelsea fans leaving before the game ends, they're fed up too. A lot of these guys grew up on success. So now looking at the team that they have right now, it doesn't give them the same feelings. It just doesn't. See, I grew up on failure. So this season, it doesn't hurt me as much. But they grew up on success. So watching what they're watching right now, you had Hazard, Costa, Lampard. Those are the type of talents you had. Your best players were that quality. You look at your best players now, you're like, nah. And look, the club bears responsibility. The managers bear responsibility. The players are not good enough. And that's the end of the day. Chelsea won. Burnley won. Terrible results, but I mean, we're kind of used to it at this point, right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Peace out.